Spicy and crunchy items for under $2 each.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. That right there. Can you guys hear me? Can you put a 1 in the chat if the volume's okay, guys? Copper Horse, Rambella, Melissa, Ricole, Lusa, volume is good. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining the stream. It's going to be probably about 20-30 minutes. What's up, Michelle? Just kind of get right into the meat and potatoes of this document I came across. What's up, Gary? Can't believe it's Friday already. This week's gone by so fast. I'm just gonna. I've already gone over her story before, but one of my subscribers, that I think he subscribed to my channel a couple months ago. And this happens to be his wife's niece that actually went missing. So I told him that if she was still missing, I'd be more than happy to feature her a couple of times, spread the awareness. So, and if any of you guys have any requests, just put it in any of my videos, just put in the comments, if you guys want me to feature somebody, if you've got somebody that you know. Oh, it's freezing out. Where are you at, Michelle? So quickly, I'll just go over her, and then we'll get into the document. So this is Destyne Puglisi from Klamath Falls, Oregon. Last seen on December 3rd of last year. She was at a pilot truck stop in Oregon with an unknown truck driver. They believe that she could be in Red Bluff, California, anywhere in Oregon, or up north in Spokane, Washington. So, hey, Tina. Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's interesting. Thank you, Lusa. Oh, Canada. Oh, wow. I bet. All right. So, let me see how many I got in here, and then we'll get into it here. Okay, sweet. All right, so let's start out with this little document here, and then we'll get into the article that I found about the DC child service workers. So News 9 investigates obtained police calls for service to home from 2018 to 2021. The Manchester Police Department was contacted 29 times. Often by concerned neighbors, including a dozen nuisance and animal complaints and 2 child welfare calls. Manchester police filed a formal incident on September 11th, 2019 to DCYF, citing clutter, empty food containers in every room, noting that all 3 children appeared clean and fed, yet they had no electricity and was literally just running off a generator. So a lot of people have a problem with that. So the big question, what in the heck is going on at DCYF? So I came across this article through Reddit, and this article was done before the whole Harmony thing. Now, of course, she had already, she had already been missing. But this had come out before the whole Harmony. So this is an unbiased article, just so you guys know. Here, let me pop up the chat so I can see you guys while I discuss this. Hey, Catherine. All right. Hey, Gary. Hey, Mary. Mary says, but there should have been 4 children. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that confuses me too. I'll have to look into that. Because I know there's a lot of times they report 3 children. I know what you're saying. Okay, so the article is revolving door at DCYF. As soon as they hire 1 new person, 2 people leave. So this guy is Demetrius Saros, and he worked for 7 years at the Manchester office. So it says, after a decade of working as a child protective service worker at the Manchester office, Demetrius Saros could tell when one of his colleagues was about to quit. They stopped saying good morning as they arrived at the office. They grew dour and quiet. They stifled sobs at their desks as cases continued to pile up. I can literally look at people's faces and their workloads, and I can tell you who's going to give their notice next. He developed the skill over time as teams of colleagues came and then rapidly went. In the last 3 years alone, 30 Child Protective Service workers left their positions at the Manchester office. The office employs a total of 44 child protection workers. The Manchester office is literally staffing-wise truly in crisis, he said. So it goes on to say turnover is endemic in offices across New Hampshire. In a state that employs a total of 283 child protection workers, 196 have quit or transferred out of their positions since 2019. That's huge. To bust out the calculator, I'm pretty sure that's like a good 70%. So at the Manchester district office, staff left so frequently, some workers gave up on learning the new hires' names. Shannon Donnelly, who left her position at DCYF in May after more than 7 years with the department, said it seemed like management couldn't hire fast enough to keep up with the steady flow of employees that quit or transferred. It's like a revolving door, Donnelly said. As soon as they hire 1 new person, 2 people leave. When 1 worker quits, their open cases were redistributed to the remaining employees until they too were at the breaking point and quit, Saros says. To Cameron White, a former Manchester child protection worker, the departures felt bittersweet. In his year and a half at the office, 10 people left. When people left, it's like you're happy for that person who got out, but also you're angry at that person because I get all their cases, he said. So, I mean, this is huge, and I'm going to read more, but I too have worked at jobs that are, have a high turnaround rate, and it sucks. And I'm sure some of you guys have too. And, at these jobs that have these high turnover rates, it's almost like a domino effect because it spreads, and you usually get management that, instead of having training, you kind of get thrown into the wolves. And so you just even when you're a new hire at these places, you just get a bad first impression because of just, everybody's miserable. Usually management's not in a good mood. And it's just, like I said, it's a domino effect. And I've worked at a couple places like that, and it's just, it's terrible. And then you're working, typically overtime. You don't get paid any better. And typically you're getting yelled at. And it's just not fun. Loretta Scott, I live in Manchester, and I can assure you they are corrupt and useless. Okay. Like I said, I'm not defending or supporting. I just, like I said, I came across this article, and I just want to share it with you guys because, just to kind of get a look under the hood. And we know that the governor, Chris, has said that they're doing a internal investigation into what's going on. So, all right. So now it says breaking point. So being a child protective service worker is not glamorous. Out in the field, they frequently encounter homes infested with bed bugs and lice. Day after day, they witness abuse, and they can cause secondary trauma and post-traumatic stress disorder. If their investigation deems a situation unfit, they are charged with taking children away from distraught and sometimes violent parents. That is often the explanation of spokespeople for the department give when prodded to explain their high turnover rates. As people came and went, staff heard the same explanation over and over from management. This is a tough job that is not meant for everyone. Turnover is naturally casualty of a difficult profession, they said. And I can understand some of that. I don't think this would be a fun job. And like I said, I'm not defending these guys in one bit. Let's see what you guys are saying. Michelle says, this is just so heartbreaking. These poor children don't have a chance. Yeah. So they said it was overwhelming caseload, seemingly impossible expectations, and poor management. Which, yeah, like I said, the jobs that I've done, that's all of it. It's not fun. So the majority of my coworkers didn't leave because they didn't like the job or they didn't like the clients. It was the toxic work environment. And I can agree with toxic work environment, and I'm sure you guys could too. Leading up to the pandemic, workers often juggled more than 30 cases at a time. The Child Welfare League of America, a nonprofit governmental organization based in Washington, recommends a maximum of 12 cases at a time. So they recommend 12 cases at a time, but they're saying that they were working 30 cases at a time. So almost triple their load. Melissa, Chris, please research case ahead. I put a very sketchy near where I live. I think okay. All right, I'll look into it. Thank you, Melissa. I never saw a place where I would on such regular basis see people crying just because they're so overwhelmed with all the work they were being asked to do. So, like I said, I'm not defending these guys, but it definitely sounds like it wasn't a good environment that these guys are working with. And it just sounds like, to me, it sounds like just like the perfect storm, sadly, for poor Harmony, because you're on the verge of, COVID. Because she went, apparently, was missing in 2019 at the very end, in November. So, and then if this is what they say is true and their workload, and people are quitting, it's almost like she kind of got caught in the storm. So during 2020, caseloads plummeted as fewer reports of neglect and abuse were called in, likely because students didn't attend in-person classes where signs of abuse might be noticed and reported. So right here, it's going to just kind of say that their caseload actually goes down. So this is kind of interesting. So, however, Joe Ribsam, the director of DCYF, said that even as calls had crept back up to pre-pandemic levels, average caseloads remained lower than in years past, which he attributes to delegating some of the incoming calls to family resource centers, hiring more staff, and new weekly staff meetings. I wouldn't be surprised to see it climb back up around 20, but I really hope we're able to maintain under that, he said. Okay, so this article is almost done. So, let's see. Amber Burnett, a former Manchester child protection worker, said when she left her position in spring of 2019, she was working on cases for more than 200 children. She said she worked between 70 and 80 hours a week to keep up her workload while caring for her own newborn. I even made a comment, and I was like, I am telling you, I cannot handle one more thing. Otherwise, all of these things are going to be neglected, and I don't want to do that. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Loretta says, I watched the interview with her mom and they said they couldn't do anything about it. Yeah, like I said, this is not to defend them. This is just, just kind of peek of what, because there's two sides to every story. Just seeing what they're saying. But like I said, this document came out before Harmony, so this is kind of a more unbiased response, I guess you could say. So when Shauna Smith, a former Manchester child protection worker of 13 years, told her supervisors that one of her clients attempted to blackmail her through her teenage son's Facebook page, she said that they told her the situation was perceived threat, not an actual threat. That's why I'm not on Facebook, she remembered another supervisor responding. Yeah, I can relate. So Ripsand said he would look closer into what those individual allegations are, but noted that supervisors have often lived through the same traumatizing experience that workers have. Yeah, I can't imagine it would be fun to be taking children away from their families. What's up, Angel? Hi from Kansas City. So these employees, unlike so many other frontline workers required to do in-person work, were not prioritized for the COVID-19 vaccine. Some workers were not just afraid for their own safety, but for the safety of the children they worked with. One describing themselves as perfect disease vector. So I could understand that. I mean, but I don't understand why they were not prioritized, though. You would think this would be an essential worker that needs to be prioritized for a vaccine. So like I said, I just feel like this is just kind of with everything. I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around, but it definitely seems like this was just bad timing, and with the pandemic coming, So Jake Leon, a spokesperson for the Department of Health and Human Services, said he could not disclose how many children protection workers tested positive for the virus due to privacy reasons. This solidified what he suspected for a long time. The system thought of him as dispensable. So it seems like these workers are claiming that they're not, getting treated fairly. Let me see what else is in here. Okay, so we're almost done here. So before his colleagues put in their notice, they sometimes asked Saros how he managed to stay at the office for so many years. At first, he answered with platitudes about how fulfillment from his personal life gave him the strength to keep working. Over time, that explanation started to feel insincere. Why am I doing this? He asked himself. Last week, Saros, the office's most experienced assessment worker by about 7 years, left his job at the division, so DCYF, for a position at the U.S. Postal Service. And I don't blame him. I worked at the Postal Service. I worked there for about almost 5 years. It's tough, but they pay you well, and I enjoyed the experience. And great benefits. So while he said he was happy to be moving on, he worries about the office he was leaving behind. Many of the remaining assessment workers are fresh out of college with less than 2 years of experience on the job. There are so few experienced workers left. Those with less than 1 year of experience were training new employees. Multiple former and current employees confirmed. Ripson said, though this is true, supervisors select mentors who had prior experience in adjacent fields. He also said that all child protection employees go through a core training academy taught by professional trainers before they are assigned a mentor in their office. That's not good enough, others said. There's no seasoned and experienced staff to mentor these new young workers. Those inexperienced workers may not know about the resources available because they are exhausted. They may be missing important pieces to the investigation that otherwise, if had been well rested, well trained, they wouldn't have missed. Missing some of those red flags could mean that the child gets hurt or a child dies. Sarles is first to admit that he didn't get a handle on the job until about 2 years after the agency. Over time, he developed an eye for small details that might indicate an unsafe environment. A hole in a drywall, a small dent in a fridge, fleeting facial expressions. And that totally makes sense. So O'Neill from the Office of Child Advocate says she worries about the years of experience that are lost when tens of people quit every year. People who remain, though trained, well-intentioned, are inexperienced and may miss signs of abuse veteran workers might notice. Not only are they not really seasoned to work, they're not even seasoned to life, she said. They're walking onto the porches of the most complicated families. You have to have many levels of experience to deal with that. And I can agree with that. Hey, Miss Kelly. So this is just a little diagram. So it says, since 2019, the Manchester District Office has employed 63 Child Protection Service workers. Over the course of 3 years, so let's see, since 2019. So over the course of 3 years, nearly half the employees have transferred out of their position, left the department entirely. Leaving few experienced workers to handle complicated and nuisance cases of child endangerment. Each CPS work carries tens of cases that are often redistributed to the remaining workers when they leave. Today, 1/4 of Child Protection Service positions at the Manchester office are vacant. So, it is interesting. Tina says, was COVID would cause people not to see one another. My heart goes out to Harmony. I know the birth mother and birth father sold Harmony 2 years. DCYF don't care about the parents that put children in harm's way. Yeah. Let's hope, there's definitely got to stay positive no matter what. I kind of told this story once before, but I got a notice. What was that? Oh, did you guys, somebody subscribed? Oh, Nora. Okay, awesome. All right, making sure. So, just to kind of go on the light side of stuff now. So I was born and raised in Utah and lived here most of my life. And in 2002, this Elizabeth Smart, most of you have heard of her story. She was kidnapped. She was kidnapped in the fall. What month was it? Yeah, so she was kidnapped in the fall. And, okay, so, what does it say? Okay, June 5th, she was kidnapped. And I think then she was rescued in March. But, so June 5th rolls around, and I think I had moved into my first apartment during the winter time. And I remember this was like a big case in Utah. This was kind of like, like Gabby Petito big for Utah. And, as the months had passed, things started looking dire. And then it just kind of seemed like people forgot as the winter moved on. And I remember like January, February, it wasn't in the news like it was. So when he took, Brian Mitchell was the one that kidnapped her, and he took her out into the mountains, and they hid up there for, I think, a month or so. And then he finally, for the winter, took her to California. And then he wanted to have, multiple wives. And so Elizabeth Smart was going to be his wife, because he was going to be like the, I don't know what you'd call it, like the Messiah or something. But, so, he wanted to get another wife, so he was going to kidnap her cousin, and I forget her name. So they went back to Salt Lake. I'm not sure when they came back, but they had been back for a couple months. And like I said, I was living in Utah, and let me just pull up the map, but just to kind of show that there's always hope. And I'll show you that I was. So they had been seen at parties, and there's kind of a picture. Let me pull up that picture, because he had taken her to some parties. Brian Mitchell, a pretty famous photo of her at a party. If we can find it. Yeah, this is it, but there's a picture of her. But this is what she was. Okay, here's the picture. All right, yeah, here's the picture. Oh, that's not the picture. What in the hell? That guy's crazy. But anyway, let me blow this up a little bit. So this picture here. God, I don't know why it doesn't want to pull up, but in this article here, she was at a party. And I know that because they didn't have a car, and they were basically panhandling to get by. And like I said, he came back to Utah. And so after it had been 9 months now, everybody, it just kind of felt like there was no hope. And she was found. So I lived in Murray, about right here. She was found in Sandy, no more than like 10 minutes away from where I lived. And they used to, they were found, I believe, on 900 East, which is a pretty, see if I can find it here. I'll back out a little bit. Oh yeah, here's 900 East right here. So they used to walk along, I think it was, okay, that's 13. Yeah, so 900 East right up in here. And I used to go to the skate park down over here, because Murray's up here. And she was found kind of like over here. Actually, a little bit further down here. But I could have been within like 100 yards or less of her and not even known it. Multiple times. Because they'd been wandering up and down the streets. Wanda, Elizabeth, and Brian. But anyway, they eventually noticed her, and so she was saved after 9 months. And so there's always hope in these cases. We got Summer Wells. I know we're at, I think, 189 days or 190. I'm not sure exactly. It's one of those. But, she was taken in, June? And Elizabeth Smart was taken in June. And she was found in March. So, there's always that possibility that there could be a happy ending. So, let's see. What you guys saying? Baby beef. Baby beef, yeah. I'll show you baby beef real quick before I go. My little baby beef. He's on my shirts too. Let's see, do I have the original? Oh, I don't have it on this. Do I have it on this one? So this is, let me just tell you the story about this picture before I let you guys go. So I had left my laptop down. This is my futon right here when I was living in Ohio. So I left my laptop just like this, and I went to the bathroom, and I come back in the room, and I swear to God, he's looking at me just like this with his body. I didn't position him on that. You guys know you can't position cats. You can do that with dogs, but cats, you can't position them. I don't know, maybe a few, but I literally walk in the room and he's looking at me just like this with his paws perfectly set on like he's just typing. And he just sat there. And so I took like 20 pictures. And oh my God, it was the cutest thing. So, of course, I had to put him on one of my merchandise. But it was just so cute. I couldn't believe. So here's... I don't know if this is... but yeah, I can't really read the text. But that's kind of... But here's one of my shirts with him on it. I just kind of changed the computer. Don't be a scaredy cat. But yeah. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, he's right now he's in Ohio, but I'm gonna go back and get him. I'm so glad I didn't take him on the trip because that would have been good. He's never been in a car. The only time he's been in a car was when we took him to get neutered. So he does not like car rides at all. But anywho, so I appreciate you guys stopping by. Like I said, this is just kind of to go over what, that document. Sorry you missed it, Sleuth, but I found a document that just kind of, it was released 9/18/21. So this is obviously before Harmony. I mean, she'd been missing, but this hadn't been in the media. So I just thought there was kind of a interesting document to go over. It's kind of I would say an unbiased view of what the workers claim that they were going through. And it sounds like they had a massive workload. But once again, I'm not defending or supporting it or in any way. It's just there's always two sides to every story. And it's just, but I did notice something wild, that I found is the average caseworker in Manchester makes $33,000 a year, which is 39% below average. In Utah, they make 51,000 a year. So they're not getting paid good money. And I don't think that would be a fun job to do. But like I said, I'm not defending them. It's just, it's just kind of a look under the hood of what's going on, because I know a lot of people are really pissed off that this didn't get, this case has just kind of slipped by. So. Oh, Sunshine Savannah. Yeah, Sunshine Savannah. She won a free giveaway, so I gave her a shirt. That's awesome. I haven't heard from you for a while. I'm so glad you got it. What did Screaming Crimes? Elizabeth Smart faded from sight, not because of us who cared, but because the police did not feed information to the news media. Yeah, that's true, Screaming. And plus, we didn't have social media like we did, 2002. We basic internet. I think we still had dial-up actually in 2002. So, but yeah. But anyway, all right, guys. Like I said, this is just kind of to go over that document that I found. I thought that was just kind of interesting to take a look at, see what the workers are saying, And like I said, this is kind of an unbiased report because this happened before Harmony. So, but Sleuth, are you going live? Thank you, Tina Moose. Yeah, if I need to next time I will get your link, Sleuth. But do check out her channel. She does the same thing I do. Supports the missing. So, yeah, I don't have your link. So next time I'll copy and paste your link, Sleuth. So can I do that? Yeah, I can. Actually, hold on, guys. If you guys haven't left yet. Me and Luther, we're going to team up here and I think of just do that, right? So here's a link to her channel, and please go subscribe to her. She does great work. Screaming Chris, 100% right. Pre-internet was much worse. Reporters couldn't get squat. Yeah, really, you were just at the mercy of the reporters. We didn't have, didn't even have YouTube. Yeah, 2002, 2004 is when YouTube came out. So, yeah. I didn't think we had, it didn't have anything back then. So, yeah, you were at the mercy at the news channel. So, all right, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'm going to end it there so I can kind of clip this and stuff and re-upload it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And have a great weekend. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, at Denny. Did you figure out the membership thing yet? You shouldn't have to use PayPal if you're joining a channel. But send me a message. I'd be more if you have any questions. So, all right. Okay, that's okay.